Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to our Lyceum service. And this is coming to you from the Paul Spiritualist Church on the south coast of the UK. Great big warm welcome to our guest tonight, a gentleman, Ianis. We've just looked this up. We were thinking, when were you here? Oh, it's not that long ago. Well, it was actually October in 2022. So a long time since we've seen and spoken to Ianis, but I've been watching and just seeing the unfoldment going on online. It's just been absolutely delight to watch. It seriously has. Ianis, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Lawrence. Good evening, everybody else too. And I have to say first, thank you for having me here tonight. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, right. Say that again in an hour's time. So, as I said, because of the nature of our social media platforms now, we're all kept up to date with everybody and everything, what's going on. And you really have come into stepping into your power at this time. And it is really lovely to see. I remember when we booked you here for Paul, it was because there was a post out and you ended up taking your first service, a bit like a lot of people happens. The medium doesn't turn up and you're sat there innocently enjoying yourself. And then the next thing.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's happened.
Yeah. And I just saw that and there was just something about you. And I thought, I really like you. I like where you're coming from. You've got a really nice energy about you. So it was a great delight to host you physically down here in Paul and do our Lyceum night, which is still very popular with people because you came out with some lovely tales. You told these stories with a meaning and a purpose, and they were beautiful to listen to. So, you are a great orator. So just what have you been doing in the last, what are we doing now? October, November, December, January... 16 months. What's been going on in Ianis world?
Well, it's a good story. That's exactly what happened. Someone cancelled at Wellington Spiritualist Church and invited me to do my first demonstration of mediumship. And by the time I finish, I think about 2 hours later, because obviously someone put a post on the Facebook. I had about 7 different churches contacting me the next morning. And it started from there, and it spread quite quickly, even though it shocked me at the same time. But I've been working really hard, lots of demonstrations, lots of at the same time learning, still sitting in the circle. I mean, things change a little bit, so I run my now circle on Zoom, which is great, and also doing circle for one of the churches, which is once every 2 weeks. So going into teachings, I'm the same time learning quite a lot. We're doing lots of SNU courses with SNUI online, and obviously going to Arthur Finley College always helps. Already been there once, and I'm going there again, plus few open days and few classes at the same time. So it's been a wonderful progress. I have to say, Spirit never let me down. For some, in so many things, and you're kind of getting tired, and you're thinking, I'm not sure if I can carry on. But somehow they always uplift you. They always give you that energy, and what which energy you get fully energized. Okay, and you also they always give you that support and just little nudge and a push, saying, keep going, keep going. There's no reason to stop. And what's really helped me is that realizing doing a service for others, it's one of the greatest gifts we can have here on the earth plane. And just getting that really joy, each message that you give, when you give somebody that confirmation that somebody in spirit life looking after them and trying to help them, the loved one or the spiritual guide, give them a little nudge and nudge in a direction the way they should go, and just truly believe themselves. it gives me this wonderful strength, love, and compassion to carry on.
Beautiful, beautiful. I do love there, because you hit on something that's very pertinent and very emotive with me, that you continue on with your development. We do see occasionally, time to time, I've got the title, I'm getting bookings, so that's it. I don't need. Why would I need to sit in circle? But and do you know what? It really is shining through. I've noticed now that you're quite comfortable working online as well, doing Zoom dems.
Yes.
How are you finding them?
It's actually quite interesting story. About just over a year ago, I actually went to my local spiritualist church in Hitchin, and one of the really good local mediums and a really good friend, he looked at me and said, "I need to give you a message from Spirit. I'm not sure who it's coming from, but you should get yourself a laptop and go online." And until then, I didn't have a laptop. I said, "What do I need a laptop for?" He said, "You have to do something on Zoom. I don't know what it is, but the message, do something on Zoom." So I'm thinking, I always give other people messages, and there's a good message. I should go and get myself a laptop, and I did. And went on Zoom and started doing just private readings on Zoom, and also learning on Zoom. I created Circle on Zoom because you, the one who inspired me, because you are a truly pioneer who took spiritual movement online. You still have a church that you have a demonstration, but at the same time you're streaming online. And coming to you and visiting you, thinking, well, it actually works exactly the same way. The spirit is here. You don't have to be physically in the room. So I'm thinking, if you can do a message to somebody, why can't I open a circle on Zoom? So I thought, really, just give it a try, Ianis. What can go wrong? And nothing is different. Sometimes I think actually it works even better. And what really helps with that is that there's lots of people can't travel or they live far away. And we're creating this wonderful community. Some people, it's like 30 or 50 miles away, but we're creating this wonderful community of working together. And I took even one step a little bit further. Recently, I started Trans Circle. And I've always been told you can't do trance online because you have to be in the presence, you have to be in the room. I said, well, you never know. Give it a try, and it works. It works wonders because spirit know how to come in, how to communicate, and they also know that they're not gonna put you in such a deep state that you fall asleep or you can't come back. So they do it very, very gently, and they do it step at a time. Of course, you need to have very strong communication with your spiritual guides. You need to have a full trust in them. So I always put that intention, and I always ask them, work with me in the way you think is best, not what I think I need or what I want at this point in time. So you, the intelligence behind everything, please bring as much as energy as I need it at that point in time, and make sure that everything working beautifully, and they never let me down.
Brilliant. And again, everything you're saying here is resonating beautifully, because you're talking there about the intent and the intelligence of spirit. And that's something that sometimes we may neglect the intent, or actually we deny the intelligence of spirit because we put it in our box, our mainframe of, well, only this can happen. And if you actually go in with that thinking of only this can happen, guess what? Only that will happen.
What happened?
Shock horror.
That's the thing. It's actually having true trust. Because I always said to myself, right, I've got few spiritual guides. I'm really in close contact with them. I talk to them on a daily basis. So they know how my energy works. They know how I think. So they always bring something that I need. And sometimes they push me, sometimes they pull me back a little bit, saying, hang on, one step at a time. For example, don't rush into that one yet. Create maybe better base or just a bit more strength before you go into that direction. But you can do this way. And because I kind of really let them do that, they take me in such a beautiful pathway that I totally love it. And I can't say anything negative about them. You know, you've done this to me. Yes, sometimes they put you into test, because sometimes we're thinking, all right, we're going this way, and I finally worked with my shadow, and I'm in the perfect place. So they will always bring something just to test you one more time. Are you really? Can you cross that bridge without seeing it, but have that full trust? And as it's in the Bible, you can only cross that bridge if you believe it's there.
Yep.
So have that true belief. And things change in the way spirit works, especially on Zoom, because sometimes we always bring communicator, we describe how they are, but recently in the last few months, they're coming in a slightly different way. And as person just join in on Zoom, and before I even go into describing a person who is the communicator, they give me something specific, just one or two words for that person, and I go, right, I think, for example, you just bought yourself new slippers. And I go, oh my God, how do you know? I said, trust me, I don't. But the spirit just told me that for a reason. And the person who's saying it is your grandmother, for example, and she looks like that. And then they go straight into the message. Soon as the person recognizes who it is, they're going straight into the message, because what I've been told by the spirit now is everything is in the message, and the confirmation will come in with that too. But then if people are ready for the message, sometimes people coming in, if they are first time, they just want confirmation who it is. They want facts. And spirit gives you that, because they know what the sitter needs at that point. So they will give you what that person needs, not what I think I should give it to them. Because you can spend whole hour just to confirm, and then your grandmother also said this, and she also had this and this. Because that person need that confirmation. He needs to have strong belief before we go any further.
Yeah. And it's I mean, it confirms the uniqueness of our mediumship. Everybody's mediumship is in their own unique way, but we do have those commonalities. We sometimes approach thinking how a message should be structured, or I want more evidence on that, I want to go deeper into that, when actually the recipient may not need that, because they can. A lot of recipients, and we tend to overlook this, can actually start to feel that presence themselves.
Yeah.
And they just know. I've sat here before, and the medium started talking, and after a couple of bits of evidence, which not very specific evidence, and I've gone, I know that's my mum.
Yeah.
I just know that's my mum, because she's just here. I know it is. And I think we struggle, don't we? We struggle with that at times.
It is. It is. Sorry to interrupt. Only I wasn't hitching this Wednesday. I was doing demonstration of mediumship, and as I started to describe this lovely lady that was coming in, I said the first thing I need to say, she's grinding her teeth to the point where there's no teeth left, and she just started crying. So that's my grandmother. You don't need to say anything else.
Yeah.
And what followed that after that, it took me about 20 or 30 seconds. And the rest, it was just a message that she really needed at that point in time, because she was going through a difficult situation. And that was so beautiful. Just that enough confirmation that they can take it and then give them that message. It's the guidance, because people in spirit, it's your loved ones. They come in to communicate with you. They want to give you upliftment, a direction. They're not going to push you, make you do anything, but they will give you that direction, that love, that support. And all you need sometimes is just the confirmation that they love you.
Yeah.
Enough confirmation that they are still watching you, that they are by your side. And that's what needed at that point. It's that going, you know what, I am not alone on this world. Someone may be going through difficult relationship problems and maybe lost a couple of friends or loved one. They don't have people to communicate. And just that confirmation that we are still watching you, you know, it's wonderful.
Yeah. And it's interesting because just as you're talking there, my mind's whirring away. And I've noticed changes in my connection with the other world, differences in the phenomena of evidential mediumship with other mediums that we have working here at Poole. And I just think, well, do you know what? Again, we need to go back to the intelligence of the spirit world. We're in a time now, we're not entering a time anymore. We are in this time where nothing is certain. Yeah. Nothing is set. Every day we wake up and there's change, and it is very, very unsettling for people. You know, we're finding challenges within our personal lives, within our financial lives, within our career life. Every aspect of our being has got all these challenges. And of course, the spirit world understand that. The spirit world not only understand it, they react to it. And I think we as mediums need to be open to these changes coming in, and allow the voice of spirit to flow and trust, you know, and just think, I don't feel like I've given enough evidence. That recipient knows that was whoever talking to them.
Yeah.
It's not our message. How many times do I have to say this to mediums, including myself? Yeah. It's not our message.
But that's what happening is the confirmation is in the message, because what you tell them, no one will know, even you, even their close family, someone from spirit will know what's going on in their mind, why they're not sleeping, what is troubling them, have they been to doctors recently, what is the cause of the problem. All of that is confirmation. You know, you're going there because you had a scare for a cancer. I know you've been to doctors. And like, oh my God, who knows? I haven't even told my family. So it must be somebody up there. And sometimes I've done recently also a couple of messages where they're quite quick, but I call them divine message, because I trust myself and I trust spirit and I trust what I receive. And as you're going through the room, you will pick one person, and I'm thinking, I don't have a communicator. I need to give you this message. So I will say, I'm really sorry. I'll give you the divine message. It's something you need to hear. And it can be a little bit short by saying, that's the direction you need to go. And this is what you need to do. You need to pick up the phone and ring your brother, for example. And that's all I need to tell you. And it's always correct. And that's what they need to know. That's what they need to hear, because you can see in their eyes by that point, there might be tear coming down, or they're just nodding and saying, yes, you're right. How do you know? And the answer is always, I don't. I'm only the messenger. Or as spirit always say to me, we just rent your mouth.
You sound like you've got the same team as I've got. But it is, you know, as I say, we are now in this changed world and continue to change. Do you think this offers spiritualism a really good opportunity here to step up to the mark, to not only deliver that wisdom, knowledge and love from the spirit world, but even in more practical ways of supporting our communities, bringing people together? I always say with our demonstrators here, and usually through the address, when I say they do the job, I'm not being condescending, because to me the job is they give everybody hope.
Yeah.
When we go out of the doors, there's hope has been instilled.
You know, you're right. Things are really, really changing. And we notice more and more that younger generation, children now, they're more sensitive, they're more receptive to spirit. And that's why at this point in time we've seen so many youngsters struggling, because they are sensitive and receptive. They also can have that communication with spirit, and therefore they are empaths. So they pick up lots of energy. And you're right, in our society now, at this point, with everything going up, with struggles and a big shift and a change, people, especially young people at the moment, they can see all of that. They're realizing that the life is not easy, and the whole society doesn't go exactly it maybe the way it should, and there's not enough happiness. So they pick on all of that. And I think the intelligence of spirit coming in at this point, and that's why they're taking lots of stuff online, because youngsters spend lots of time on their phone. They're going through their TikTok. And I know I have two children, and my eldest one, who's only 20, coming in and going, he knows what I do. He doesn't ask too many questions, but he's happy with that. But recently he kept coming back and saying, I've seen this on TikTok. Now I understand what you're saying. And he asking questions about spirituality, about the energy, about chakras, about things that he picking up at the moment. But spirit, because until a few months ago, if you say to me, something with TikTok, I will go, no. People going there just to have fun. But the intelligence of spirit, obviously pushing people towards there to put little videos, little messages, the same with Facebook, the same. So they know, and I think spirit is 2 or 3 steps ahead of us. They knew things will go online. They knew that things will get more difficult. And I think the infrastructure is always there. You only have to look just a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. But everything is there. Okay. And going online, some people can't travel. Youngsters can't drive. But I've seen when we do like you do on Zoom and others people, and I've done couple of demonstrations for people on Zoom, I can see more and more young people.
Yeah.
Which is great. So you're right. The intelligence of spirit is much ahead of ours. They know what is going to happen. So they put just little things just underneath, just there when we're ready to pick up for anyone. It's always there.
Brilliant. I have a saying of spirit, we use a rusty nail to get a message across. And that's not derogatory. It's just to say spirit will use every avenue to get the message across. But I always say when we're dealing on that energy level of getting a message across, it's a two-way thing. We can give out the message. What the recipient does with it is entirely up to them, and it's actually none of our business.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, we missed that.
Sorry, yeah, just...
Can you hear me?
Are we okay? Can you... Yes. Sorry, can you hear me at all?
There's a little bit of a sound problem there for a little hiccup. Yeah, we can hear you. I think that's spirit saying, look, see what we can do.
Exactly. Exactly.
You see, how dare you call me a rusty nail?
Brilliant. Love it.
But it is just so interesting this time, and I'm not being demeaning about it because there is just so much going on, and it's actually we're seeing so much come across on social media and different things, and it's very hard to sort of keep a balance on things and not get too engrossed and not let things wind you up. If that's somebody's belief system, absolutely fine, carry on. All right. And it does make us look at our own philosophy and our own belief structure. I've gone very much back into spiritualism because everything, in my opinion, everything we do within spiritualism is evidential in one form or another.
Yeah.
We have obviously the evidential message. but we can have evidence come through our healing mediums, through our spirit artists, through our philosophers. When you get an address that really bounces around the room and hits everybody on a level, that's our evidence trail.
Yeah.
We've got to broaden our view of what is evidence, and evidence is no longer confined to the sitter going yes or no. Evidence is that you resonate, that you touch people when you are working in whatever aspect your mediumship unfolds. What do you think of that?
Well, see, this whole earth plane is designed in a way that we kind of, by the time we come here, we forget who we are. So everything in a way hidden in the plain sight, and first starts with the books, okay? But when you're ready, you have to be ready to get awakened. Now you can get awakened by so many different ways. Someone told you something, you might have done a yoga, or you went in nature, or you just simply woke up one morning. So when you're ready, as they say, the teacher will appear. But what's really nice is, for me, when I woke up, everything was there. But I was ready to wake up, and I was ready to step on the spiritual path. And once you step, people like you, selves, and so many others will help you on this journey. And I feel like this is now my time to do exactly the same. But you have to do it in such a gentle way. Just be there. If someone ready to come up for air, I created a space where I can say, hi, how can I help you? But we can't force spirituality on anyone, because the only thing when you do that, people just back off because they feel like you want something from them. And that's not the point. We're not a religion in that sense of way. We're just creating a space, that beautiful love, which only comes through your heart. Yes, we have to use words to produce that, to do the address, and that's really, really important. You're right. You're absolutely right. And the address has to come really from your heart. It's what your teachings, what you understand, and what really resonates with you. When you do that with true belief, it's resonate. People really believe and can take that. And even if they know, if someone just walked in at that point in time for the first time, they can look at the medium and go, I don't know what he's saying, but he's saying with so much conviction that there must be true in it. I might come back and listen again. I might look into something. I might go and buy a spiritual book. And that's what happened to me, because in the beginning I used to look and I go, there's something there. I don't understand what it is. But I will go and find out. And I will do my own research. I will go and read the books. And bit by bit, you find the little pathway. And it's like hidden in the plain sight. And then only take somebody you woke up